Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So, in this video, I will be talking about what if sesa and refamee, the heretic leader from Halo 2, survived. So, I'm going to be reading off of this theory that I wrote up, so just bear with me here. And if I mess up a couple times, I'm sorry. It's been a while since I tried doing a theory. Okay. What if sesa refamee survived? What if instead of opening fire on the Arbiter, what if he let Sparks teach Thel about Halo? Yes, Thel was tasked with killing the heretic leader, but for some reason he was wanting to know why he was willing to throw his life away. When he finds his way to sesa, he holds him at gunpoint like cannon, but instead he will hear sesa out and sesa will not open fire on Thel. After listening to the Oracle about how Halo is a weapon and the Prophet's lies, Thel would question his belief in the journey. With this, he needed to find a way to get sesa out of the mining facility alive. They ended up having sesa fake his death so when Tartarus came to pick up Thel and Sparks, he will not be suspicious. The plan that they came up with worked, which ended like in canon, but this time, as soon as Tartarus leaves with Thel and Sparks, sesa got into his Seraph and left the facility. The story will continue as canon, with Chief killing Regret, the Arbiter retrieving the icon, and both Thel and Chief meet the Gravemind. but in the background, sesa is gaining a large force to try and fight the Prophets once more. When Chief and Arbiter meet the Gravemind, Arbiter will be described differently. Instead of flesh and faith in the more diluted, he will be described as flesh and honor in the less diluted. At this point, all Thel will want is to help his people reclaim their honor after the Prophet shamed his entire species. After the Gravemind sends them to their canon areas, Chief on High Charity and Arbiter on the Ring, Thel will begin to walk when he found out about the Great Schism. After eliminating the brutes that was in the area, instead of a random Spec Ops elite, he runs into sesa, who catches Thel up on what he had missed with the Schism and the brutes turning on the elites. Plus how Atriox had been standing in the background, but they don't know about him yet. I just thought I'd throw that in there. After Thel met up with sesa, they regrouped with some elites and grunts who were recruited by sesa in his time after he escaped the facility. So let me just cut into this before I go on. So in the lore, the slow space actually takes some time. It's like in the Star Wars universe, like you don't just immediately just teleport to an area, it's a lot faster than going normal time. So let's just go with that sesa was able to build up an army and he was able to resist the Covenant again. So let's get back to it. They started to go through the brutes, mowing them down like in the canon mission of Unyielding, until they meet up with Artas, who is surprised to run into the heretic, making him mistrust the Arbiter a little bit, but not enough to turn on him. With the help of Artas and his elites, the Arbiter and sesa have arrived to the Scarab with Arbiter and sesa. Whoops. I made a typo by accident. So, with the help of Artas and his elites, the Arbiter and sesa have arrived into the Scarab, with Arbiter and Artas realizing that sesa had a small battlecruiser launching phantoms to key areas of the ring. When Artas escorted the Arbiter to the Scarab, he remained at his cannon. Artas stayed behind, held back any brute reinforcements, and retook the supercarrier, but with help from sesa's forces. As they go through the halls, it would go as cannon, killing the brutes, making a prison uprising to get to Johnson. But when they team up, sesa boards a Phantom while Arbiter grabs a Banshee to fight their way to Tartarus. and I'm pretty sure you're probably wanting me to say this. So, as canon, Johnson and the Scarab will go up to the gate or doors. He'll say,
"Hey, bastard! Knock, knock!"
and blast the door. After the door, he'll blast in the door after taking out the guards in the control room. They go to confront Tartarus. The Tartarus about to activate the ring. Arbiter confronts him, but as canon, he does not believe that Arbiter is seeing reason. Or hold up, let me retry that. Let me try to reread that whole line. After the door is taken out, the Arbiter goes after and takes out the guards in the control room. They go to confront Tartarus. With Tartarus about to activate the ring, Arbiter confronts him, but as canon, he does not believe he is alive, nor does he believe his reasoning, though with a problem arises. Because sesa had arrived to help Arbiter deal with Tartarus. So sesa tries to walk out and explain to Tartarus himself, knowing that Tartarus had found out Arbiter lied of executing the heretic. Tartarus had went into a blind rage, throwing Miranda to the side, and the fight will go as normal. But this time, they'll have sesa going in with Arbiter. And just so you know, imagine one elite flying around, because he'll still have his ranger harness. He still have his ranger harness going flying around, blasting Tartarus with a plasma rifle, while Thel deals with Tartarus up close and personal. He'll have his energy sword and his carbine. Johnson will have the beam rifle. Then they'll have a couple of elites that'll help him out, but until then, after that, they will stop Tartarus and they will stop the rings from firing. This is part 1 to my What If Sesa Survived. Part 2 will be going into Halo 3 and how sesa will affect the timeline then. Until then, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you in part 2. See you later!